beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was a little bit ago, sometime today. So anyway, I love you so much, and big, huge thank you to all of you out there. Yes, all of you. Yeah. Thank you for being here, loving and supporting Starlight, sending me beautiful messages, and subscribing to my YouTube channel, or even watching my videos, or sharing my videos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And anyone that would like to send any love donations, you can, and I will have that available here. Ting! There it is. Plus, we're gonna jump into this video here. There goes Starlight. There she goes. So anyway, yes, we're gonna jump into this video here today. And today is very important. Do you have a hard time giving? You know, there's lots of people that have a hard time to give. Are you thirsty? Here, Starlight will, here. Starlight will give you some water. So, do you have a hard time helping other people by giving? You know, how many times have you had somebody come up to you and they're like, can you give me something? I need food. Maybe they need food. Maybe the person that came up to you, you might even pass them on in the middle, in the middle of the street, or in the, and this just happened to Starlight on my way, where I was, and to get to where I am right now, on my way there, is that happened. There was a man in the middle of the road, and, he had a sign. He needs food. But do you have a hard time giving to those people? I need food. And you might say, oh, I can't give them, because if I give to them, how do I know where it's going? That's a lot of times, I just recently had a man that actually, I went to him and I was being honest. This is about the part on the receiving side is God wants those people to be honest. Honesty will get you far. Honesty is the best policy. So when I'm out here asking for help, God wants me to be honest. Am I on any drugs? No, I'm not. Are you on any drugs? So I had that asked yesterday. Are you taking any drugs? No. No, I'm not even taking any medications. No, I'm not. So, and that is a big thing of why a lot of people don't want to give, like, to homeless people, because they think that, are you on some kind of drug? Because I really don't want to help you if you're on drugs. So, I understand that, because that was me a long time ago. But you know what? Sometimes because take it for, I was that person a long time ago. Is like, I don't, now I kind of justify why I don't give. Now it's easier for me not to give, because now I can justify why I don't give. Why don't you, like, I do give. I just gave all the cash that I had in my wallet. I just gave it away to a homeless man that was standing in the middle of the road. And would you believe, I've been waiting for a homeless man so I could give this a person, whether it's a guy or a girl. It didn't matter to me whether, they women of color or man of color or white, black, I don't care what color they are. But Starlight was waiting, that God would put somebody like that in my path so I could give them. Isn't that funny? Isn't that freaking wild? But Starlight, you live in your car. I know. So there's people out there in the world that they don't even live in their car. They actually have a house. And the easy thing that for a lot of people, they already, I know what it's like, because I used to do weird things in my past. And so here's some things that people do ahead of time, okay? I'm just going to pull out my Cash App card and say, like, so somebody comes up to you. So what you purposely do ahead of time, so you're not lying about it, is say, well, I'm never going to carry cash. That way, if somebody comes to me and they ask me, I need help, I need food, I need gas money, I need something. So then they can be honest with them and say, sorry, but I don't carry cash. So that is a good thing that I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that's one of the things that people could do is, hey, Starlight, thanks for that idea. But you know what? Even if you took that and said, hey, Starlight, thank you for coming up with that for me. So now I can use that. So when somebody comes to me and says, hey, do you have cash? Now I can use what you just said. Hey, you can do whatever you want, but guess what? God's watching everything that you do. God knows what you're thinking. God knows why you do what you do. So there's nothing unseen. I just told a lady this last night. There's nothing unseen with God. God knows everything. God knows your heart. God knows what you were planning before it even happened. Like God sent me somewhere today because God knew I wanted to give. So God purposely sent me to a library on the way there. God knew that this man was going to be in the middle of the road asking for help. And God knew before I even got to this homeless man that lives on the street, God knew that Starlight was going to give all the cash that she had in her pocketbook to this homeless man on the street. But Starlight, you got to take care of yourself. God is going to take care of all my needs. And when God blesses me, which God did today, God did yesterday, God did the day before, God did the... Thanks, God. Thank you. I'm like, wow, I'm mind blown. God has been taking care of my ass all this time. Even before I thought I was doing it all. Even before I got in this situation, I thought, I was doing it all. So, I'm not going to show the one side, but this is my Cash App. It's got my, isn't that beautiful? I got to create my own card. So there's people that says, they're at a gas station, in a store, convenience store. And this is another thing that people can do. And I know some of you might want to learn this too, like, hey, let me learn this. I want to learn what she's talking about because, then I can justify why I don't give. So another thing that people will do is that I don't have cash. Sorry, I would love to help you, but and isn't people great actors and actresses? Sorry, I would love to give you, but I can't. I don't have any cash. But you know what I've noticed? There's ways that people can help. They can actually go in and get cash back from their card. Maybe not all the time. Or they could say, "Ooh, what do you need? Do you need food?" Because I had a lady last night that did this to me yesterday. I needed something to eat. I couldn't go and cook anything outside because I went to the food bank and they really didn't have food to give me that I could go and cook. And then to find a place where I can plug in an outlet to cook food outside. And then the temperature. So all these things. So Starlight needed help. I went up to a lady and she's like, I don't have any cash. But you know what? Her heart was in it. Her heart was in it. Even though she didn't have any cash, you know what she did? She goes, I could buy, would you like me to buy you something in here? You hungry? I could go into the gas station and buy you whatever you want. And that's exactly what she did. So, some people, they think that I am justifying why I cannot give to a homeless person when God is not fooled. You could fool, you might, I say you might be able to fool the homeless person. They know, a lot of them know. Some people might be like, because this does happen, there might be people that really honestly can't help out. I'm sorry, I would love to help out, but I'm sticking the last bit of my money to take care of my own needs. God knows whether they're being honest, whether they can help or not. But I'll tell you what, you better watch out. Because if you're being dishonest by not helping somebody out in need, and I'm not making this video for me, I'm making this video to help you if you have a hard time giving to other people. I'm not doing this so then you can send love donations on my YouTube channel. No, I'm doing this to help you out. I'm not doing this video so then you can help homeless people out on the street. No, I am doing this to help you out. Did you know that when you let go and you're honest, right? You're honest, because sometimes it's a heart issue. It's what we hear everybody else say. Oh yeah, don't get to the homeless people because they're going to do it on, use it on drugs. Is that an actual fact? Because I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I don't do marijuana. I don't do any kind of form of drugs. I haven't even had sex for the longest time. I forgot to even know what it is like. So if you have, and you could help, and there was a way that you could honestly help somebody, but you closed your heart off and didn't want to give to a homeless person, you are doing that to yourself, whether you understand this or not. Because we're all connected. So that homeless person that you didn't want to help out the other day or last week, it's like you're closing that off to your own self. When you learn to bless others by helping, when you can help, you honestly know that you can honestly help them out. It would have took a few minutes just to say, you need something to eat? What would you like? We can go in here and I can buy you something, just like this lady did yesterday. I can buy, So Starlight ended up getting like a wheat sub, and I could put whatever I wanted. I could have ordered anything on that menu that I wanted, that I would eat. That you don't want to just go out and buy something and assume that they're gonna, like if somebody went out and said, hey, you're hungry? Let me go buy you a burger from McDonald's. Sorry, I'm not gonna eat that. I don't eat meat. I have every right to do that. This is how God wants us. Would you eat something, like say if you didn't like fish and I just gave you a fish sandwich and you're like, I can't stand fish. So if a homeless person says, I need food, but you don't like it because they know what they like. And if you're being honest with yourself and you have money on your card, you might not have cash. That might have been planned or not planned, who knows, right? Is that with the card, you could go in and buy him something. Would you believe it that God is going to bless you because you gave? Now, right? Anytime that you're getting money, whether you worked for it or not, no matter how you get your money, is remember that, you know what? You think that you did this on your own, right? You went to work in the morning and you got the paycheck, you got the job. But you know what? God is the one really in control, whether you want to agree to it or not. Your health. How about your health? What if your health wasn't really that good? If you close your heart off to other people that really have a need, they really have a need. They're out there. They're begging for stuff. They need a blanket. And you could have bought them a blanket, could have gone into the store and bought them a blanket so they could stay warm at night. And if you close your heart off to them, you're closing your heart off to yourself. It's like looking at a mirror, coming up to yourself and saying, no, I can't help you out. When you see a homeless person, it's saying no to yourself. We're all connected. We all, so when I say no to a homeless person, which is very few times, it's because Starlight did not honestly have something. I'm like, I'll go in my car. Hey, do you like any fruit and vegetables? Because normally that's what it's going to be. Some kind of fruit, vegetable, or bread. There's times I have other stuff, odds and ends in my car, like hygiene stuff, But if I honestly, if those things, they don't need any of those things, and I have absolutely no cash, then God knows that Starlight was being honest. But if I lied to a homeless person, I'm lying to myself, and I'm lying to God. So then when you have a desire, or you have a need, you have something that you want, it's going to be hard for you to get those things because God sees your heart. So God will bless you when you bless others. When you just let go and say, you know what? I'm not going to have that excuse anymore. I used to have this a long time ago. I wanted to help the homeless people, but I was afraid. I mean, like, there's some people that it looked like they were doing drugs. A lot of times you can really pick out those ones. So I wouldn't really want to hand them cash. I would like, what do you need? You're hungry? You say you're hungry. And then when you try to give them food, if they don't want to take the food that you're trying, but you got to make sure that it's the food that they eat. There's not everybody who wants to eat vegetables and fruit, I've learned on this journey. Not everybody likes apples. Not everybody likes bananas or grapes. So hey, I got this and this, like with me, I got this and this and that in my car. But if you don't like any of those things and I have no cash, I'm sorry, I can't help you then. But you got to be honest, because God knows everything. There's nothing unseen. Everything is seen. God knows your heart. If we all opened our hearts up to help other people, there wouldn't be the problems that we have out in the world today. I just helped that man out on the way here today. I didn't get his name because he was in the middle of the street. There was a light. I'm paying attention. I want to be smart and wise and quick, so I didn't want to take out the change. I would have gave him all the change. That would have been, a little bit more than $1 of change that I have in my wallet. But I didn't want to be reckless. I wanted to give him the cash really quick because the change would have took some time, and I didn't want to cause any accidents or any problems. And this man's in the middle of the road, in the middle of two, there's a lane of cars here and a lane of cars here, and he was in the center of both. I never seen anybody do that before. But see, God knew that I wanted to help out ahead of time. God knew that I wanted to help a homeless person out. So God set this all up so I can find somebody. That person, you know what I told that person? I go, you know why you're out here? God's using you out here to work on people's hearts. And that made him feel good. Wow, I'm actually used out here, God's using me to work on people's hearts. So when you see, there's no accident when a homeless man comes across my path. God just gave me money, I was able to get what I needed, and I had some cash left. Well, guess what? Now I can give to this man, and the money flow keeps on coming. That's why, you might have a hard time in your life right now because, God just gave you something, and you have a house. You have a refrigerator, you have running water, you have a bed, you have all these things in your house. And then a homeless person, you just got money. You had, like maybe $5 left, but you didn't want to let it go to help somebody else that don't even have a bed. Don't even have water. They don't have a private spot of their own to call home. I live in my car, and I know what it's like to be grateful. So you're not fooling anyone. So when you're not helping other people out that have a need, go the extra mile. God will bless you. Because then when you want to go do this and that, you might, you might go to work and they might lay you off. You might lose a job. Something, your income might drop. And you'd be like, why did that happen? Well, did you help out a homeless person? Like God actually put all these homeless people in your path and you refuse to help them out? That's why. That's why those things are not working out in your life right, because you're not willing to help out. Because that person, we're all connected. It's like you're not even seeing that person is a part of you, and you don't even want to help that person out that has a need. And it's not for us to really find out if they're on drugs or not. It's, do you have the heart that you're willing to help them out in a time of need that they need you? Because there's going to be a time that you're going to need someone and you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time wondering, how come I can't get any help? Because that's how this works. You want people to be there for you when you need help. You need to be there for other people that when they need help. Not lying about it, not lying to the people, because when you're lying to the people, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to God. And God sees it all. You haven't fooled God one blink of a moment. There's not a, micro minutes or something, I don't even know if I'm making up stuff right now. Is there micro minutes, even, a minute, seconds, all little, no matter how tiny a moment, ching, a second, even is there less than a second, of time, no matter what it is, just, you ain't fooling God. You might think you fooled the homeless person. You're never gonna fool God. God knows your heart. And God does use those homeless people. God puts those people in your path so you can be a blessing. So you got a big bonus, you got some extra money, you got like a gift card that you got from, Christmas. Those are things that God blesses you with. When we let go and say, you know what, that person has a need. It's about, it's a heart. This is what's wrong with the world today. People closing their heart. They can't even help somebody on the street. But then there's a lot of beautiful people. They're out there. I've had lots of them. A lot of my people that subscribe to my YouTube channel, they helped me out. I needed them. They needed me. We need each other. One way or another, we all need each other. There's going to be a time that you're going to find yourself and nobody's going to be around and you're going to be reaching out for help. God could make it a hard time for you to get that kind of help. It might not happen like you think it's going to happen. You might have to struggle. But God doesn't want you to struggle. God wants you to be able to get the help that you need. But in order for that to happen, you've got to be having a given heart. So I love you so much. So this is Starlight. Love and light. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, give me a thumbs up. And you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends. And don't forget the notification bell. And check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.